Prophecy plays a significant role in the Bible. About 30% of the Bible contains prophetic writing. One reason prophecy is given to us is so we aren't caught off guard when things start to take place. Jesus told us this in Matthew 24 through 25, when he said, "For false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you beforehand." Here are 10 end times Bible prophecies that we're seeing happen right now. 2 Peter 3 through 4 prophesies about one of the most obvious end time signs that we're seeing happen today. Knowing this first, that scoffers will come in the last days, walking according to their own lusts, and saying, "Where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation." Pew Research Center and General Social Survey have published that numbers of Christians in the United States have been dwindling since the 1990s, with many people claiming to be atheist, agnostic, or following nothing in particular. The number of people professing to be Christians is going down. Those who reject the Bible are more vocal than ever. And we're also seeing groups of people who profess to be Christians rejecting the second coming of Jesus Christ. All of this is a clear fulfillment of this prophecy.
Jesus is not coming back. But what he became, it's now time for you to become, so that you develop the consciousness in your shoes and operate doing the miracles.
As more and more people in the world reject biblical truths, we're seeing lawlessness abound. This was prophesied to happen in the last days in 2 Timothy 3, 2 Thessalonians 2, and Jesus warned us that this would come in Matthew 24:12. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. One clear example of this that we're seeing is the rise of crime in major cities. Stealing used to be a crime that would get you thrown in jail, but more and more we're seeing people walk into stores and steal as many things as possible in broad daylight with no repercussions. Jesus prophesied that the last days would be like the days of Noah, and as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be also in the days of the Son of Man. The days of Noah connections could mean a few different things, but a clear similarity of this prophecy is the wickedness that was in the people. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The love of many grows cold, wickedness abounds, so going to war at the drop of a hat is not a problem for the governments of the world. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There's tensions between the United States and Russia, the United States and China. China threatens Taiwan on a regular basis. North Korea threatens nuclear war on a regular basis. Russia and Ukraine are at war. Hamas and Israel are at war. Iran just attacked Israel in the last 2 weeks. On a worldwide scale, we have never seen so many wars and rumors of wars. The growing attacks, wars, and hate for Israel in itself is a fulfillment of many end times prophecies. Zechariah 12, 1 through 3 is just one of them. The burden of the word of the Lord against Israel. Thus says the Lord, who stretches out the heavens, lays the foundation of the earth, and forms the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of drunkenness to all the surrounding peoples, when they lay siege against Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall happen in that day that I will make Jerusalem a very heavy stone for all peoples. All who would heave it away will surely be cut in pieces, though all nations of the earth are gathered against it. Another city whose fate is mentioned in prophecy is the city of Damascus. It's prophesied that Damascus would cease from being a city. Jeremiah 49:23 through 27 is one mention of this, as well as Isaiah 17:1. The burden against Damascus. Behold, Damascus will cease from being a city, and it will be a ruinous heap. Damascus is attacked fairly regularly, and many parts of its city already have seen complete destruction. This prophecy was written 3,200 years ago, and we're seeing it come to fulfillment right now before our very eyes. As wars and lawlessness abounds in the earth, we're seeing a desire for worldwide peace and safety. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. We're seeing this cry for peace and safety from citizens all around the world with its breakdown of law and order. We're also seeing agencies such as the United Nations and the WEF continually speak out about trying to find and force solutions to bring their peace and safety to the world. People are also crying out for peace and safety due to natural disasters. And there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. According to reports, famines and pestilences are on the rise. Famine knocking at the door of 41 million worldwide. The past few years, we've seen more large earthquakes than normal. When looking at information about this, supposed news agencies like NPR will come out and say it doesn't seem like there's an increase, but then mention because of human-caused climate issues, we may be potentially causing more earthquakes to happen. When reading into some articles from the USGS, who documents earthquakes worldwide, it says in the past 40 to 50 years, our records show that we have exceeded the long-term average number of major earthquakes about a dozen times. The desire of peace and safety in an uncertain world will lead to the fulfillment of the prophecy of a one-world government. Daniel 2, Daniel 7, Revelation 17, and Revelation 18 are a few references to this. Revelation 13 prophesies it in great detail. It tells us of a one-world government system that will be set up where people can't buy or sell without worshiping the one leading it, the Antichrist. They will have to get his mark in their hand or on their head. He will demand worship even of his own image. Those who don't follow him will be martyred for this rejection. We're seeing the desire for this one-world government system growing in people more and more. The World Health Organization mentioned something close along these lines. The head of the World Health Organization said on Monday that it must be at the center of a global healthcare system. King Charles made mention at a world government meeting that there should be one person that they can all get behind who can lead a military-style campaign to combat the climate issues.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With trillions at its disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
Before the Antichrist forms this one-world government, he will form a peace treaty with Israel in the Middle East. Then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. But in the middle of the week, he shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abominations shall be one who makes desolate, even until the consummation, which is determined, is poured out on the desolate. We're clearly seeing unrest all across the Middle East. We're also seeing growing movements to bring peace. The Abraham Accords signed in 2020 between Israel and the United Arab Emirates was a move in this direction. In Abu Dhabi, the Abrahamic family house was also recently built, bringing together Jews, Muslims, and Catholics, all through the connection that those religions have with Abraham. While peace is of course good, all these actions seem to be little stepping stones that will ultimately lead to the Daniel 9:27 7-year peace treaty agreement that will be formed by the Antichrist. The Bible is the only book on earth with fulfilled prophecies, and these are just a few of them. Over 300 prophecies were written and fulfilled in Jesus' first coming to earth. This proves that the Bible is written by God through men. Prophecy tells us that the second coming of Jesus Christ is not far off. And when he comes, if you haven't made him Lord of your life yet, it will be too late. I hope and pray you'll do that today. I hope and pray you're well. Thanks for watching, and God bless.